Okay, we can start now.
Okay, everybody, welcome to this really very amazing meeting, amazing Zoom, according to Zoom presentations, which we will have later. And of course, reading the quotation from sacred writings. I'm so happy that I have privilege today to lead this meeting, to lead this beautiful meeting with very charming people, really from different parts of the world. Yeah, and let's begin our part, devotional part. Yeah. Please welcome. Who is reading number 1?
All right, number 1.
Yes, please.
Okay, so before we can go through, firstly, I'm Tano Z. Brown from West Africa, Liberia. It's my pleasure again it's a pleasure being part and doing one of the pre-reading to our Vera presentations. All right, number 1, from Hindus, Mundaka of Adnesh 3.1.5. This Adman replenished and built home. The sinless disciple behold residing within the body is attained by an increasing practice of trustfulness, authenticity, right knowledge, and conveyance. And the next one here is Hindus have Katat 6.54. Through constant effort over many lifetimes, a person has become purified of all selfless desires and attain the supreme goals of life. And the next here is from Judaism, Talmud, Aboda Zara 20b. Students of Torah leads to precisions to deal, zeals to cleanliness to restrain to purity to holiness to meekness to fear of sin to sinfulness to the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit to life eternal. That's my word.
Make haste in doing good. Check your mind from evil, for the mind of him who is slow in doing meritorious actions delights in evil. Should a person commit evil, he should not do it again and again. He should not find pleasure therein. Painful is the accommodations of evil. Should a person perform a meritorious action, he should do again and again. He should find pleasure therein. Blissful is the accumulations of merit. Buddhism, Dharmapadam. Thank you.
The next one, please. Fourth.
Make every effort to supplement your faith with virtue, and virtue with knowledge, and knowledge with self-control, and self-control with steadfastness, and steadfastness with godliness, and godliness with brotherly affection, and brotherly affection with love. For if these things are yours and abound, they keep you from being ineffective or unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ. For whoever lacks these things is blind and short-sighted, and has forgotten that he was cleansed from his old sins. Therefore, brethren, be the more zealous to confirm your call and election. For if you do this, you will never fall. So there will be richly provided for you an entrance into an eternal kingdom of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Christianity. Tangamam.
Verily,
Now few, if your behavior, and I will confirm what is before you of the law, and will surely make lawful for you some of them which is prohibited for you. I have come to you with a sign from your Lord, so fear God and follow me. For God is my Lord, and your Lord is, so worship with him. This is the right path. It is not a rightness that ye turn your face to the east or west, but rightness ye who believe in Allah and the last day and the angel and the Christian and pregnant and the give the health for the love for you. To kinfolks and the orphanage and the needy and the warfare. And those who ask and to set a slave free and observant proper workshop and pardon the poverty, and those who keep treaty and when make they one, and the patient and the drama and adventure and the time of truth. Such are the who was sincere, such a God fear.
Thank you. Rohani.
all wayfare in the path of God. Take thou thy portion of the ocean of his grace, and deprive not thyself on the things that lie hidden in its depths. Be thou of them that have partaken of its treasure. A dewdrop out of this ocean would, if shed upon all that are in the heavens and on the earth, suffice to enrich them with the bounty of God, the Almighty, the All-Knowing, the All-Wise. With the hands of renunciation draw forth from its life-giving waters, and sprinkle the earth with all created things, that they may be cleansed from all man-made limitations and may approach the mighty seat of God. This hallowed and resplendent for Baha'i scriptures.
Victor?
Those wise men who are much given to meditation and find pleasure in the peace of a spiritual way of life, even the devas envy them, perfect Buddhas and collected as they are. Not to do any evil, to cultivate good, to purify one's mind. This is the teaching of the Buddhas. By sustained effort, earnestness, discipline, and self-control, let the wise man make for himself an island which no flood can overwhelm. Buddhist scripture.
Can you read the next one?
The most important thing is to polish the mirrors of hearts in order that they may become illumined and receptive of the divine light. One heart may possess the capacity of the polished mirror, another be covered and obscured by the dust and dross of this world, although the same sun is shining upon both. In the mirror which is polished, pure, and sanctified, you may behold the sun in all its fullness, glory, and power, revealing its majesty and effulgence. But in the mirror which is rusted and obscured, there is no capacity for reflection, although so far as the sun itself is concerned, it is shining thereon, and it's neither lessened nor deprived. Therefore, our duty lies in the seeking to polish the mirrors of our hearts, in order that we shall become reflectors of that light and recipients of the divine bounties, which may be fully revealed through them. Baha'i scriptures.
Thank you very much for the readers. So the two speakers, Dr. Rehani, Anus and Bityong. Who is going to go first?
Aye. Tani, I think he's first. Tani Brown, with the theme, the effectiveness of different negotiation strategies and techniques in resolving conflicts.
Yeah, sure.
Please, you're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Please help me with the presentation, ma'am. I will do my presentation from here if I don't get. Okay, perfect. Okay, I hope everyone is seeing what I'm seeing. Okay, like said from the onset, I'm Tano Z. Brown from West Africa, Liberia, and yeah, cool, a humble presenter for today's presentation. The topic has been introduced, so probably go through some of the literature. It says, conflict is an inevitable part of any professional or personal response of a relationship, but effective negotiation strategies can help resolve even the most complex dispute. So as per my topic, in our current day situation, many of our young people, many of us people, most especially who have not been opportune to encounter such things we call conflict, they never will know how it is ready or how important it is to know how to resolve conflict or to even discuss issues about conflict resolutions. But how be it, people like me, we are living in an environment, we are living in areas in a country where those things, they are all around in our different environments, and to some extent, we have to step on board in order to find some solution to some of those problems that is surrounding our day-to-day conflict. So as for research, keyword that is pointing out in every table, where human resides, even animal. In agriculture, we call that the agonistic behavior in animal. Animal fights among themselves. One most about classical animals or human, we fight and we have varieties of different conflicts among ourselves. So this is why I thought it was to present, though my presentation might not cover it all, but it must throw some light on some necessary parts that we need to know. All right, so please, to the second one. Cool, thanks. So now we're talking about the understanding and the psychology of negotiation. In our day-to-day life, it is necessary as a conflict resolutionist to have some ideas on what we call psychological issues, because there are too many different problems today that we encounter, and some of those problems is a result of some domestic reasons or environmental cause that might lead to some of those psychological problems. So resolutionists who wants to resolve issues in regards to conflicts, you have to have some ideas when it comes to psychology issues. And this psychological issue play a major role when it comes to the art of negotiating. So on this topic, it's necessary to point out a TD cardinal subtopic. One has to do with cognitive base, emotional intelligence, and power dynamics. If one must negotiate well, if one must find some solutions to some conflicts in and around his or her neighborhood, there's a need to consider these three bullet points. In how much you have or you are cognizant of this cognitive base, or this is a kind of a negotiator that needs to be aware of happiness of one person. Nextly, another brief talk on this emotional intelligence. Sometimes, in this emotional intelligent, effective negotiator needs to be on the alert as well. Because if you must resolve issues in your environment emotionally, you need to be on your alert. You need to some extent, be farsighted. Most especially when it comes to those are involved into the issues for which you're trying to resolve. That's why
Yes.
I am commenting on the effects
Nothing doing now, uncle.
on, that's what I'm talking about.
Maybe he wants to go.
Hello?
Sorry.
Yeah, so that's why I'm commenting on this effect of the negotiator. So as you read them, you probably get some little understanding. And the power of dynamics. We need to take into consideration that life, is a kind of a day-to-day activities that we are involved in. And in a much, we are all into these day-to-day activities. It is not situated to a specific place. Instead, it changes from one point to another, from one level to another level. That's why sometimes you might get involved or in the middle of a conflict and you need to, know whom you are going to settle issues among, which my next slide will comment on as we go on. And like that, it's necessary to take note of your power dynamic in order to recognize your different solutions to the remedies for which you want to provide to people that are involved in those conflicts. Please, a Tesla. Ma'am, the Tesla, please. So now, we're talking about the strategies for effective negotiations. How effectively can one be able to negotiate? What are some of those strategies that one can be able to use when it comes to settling or finding remedies to some conflicts, other complex conflicts, not complex conflicts, and of the many different ways out? I thought it was to comment on these three. And the first one has to do with the preparation. Second has to do with collaborative problem solving. And the third has to do with active listening. As a problem solver, one needs to prepare for the targets or for the battle he or she is going to provide an answer to. Remember where you are going. It is not a issue or is not a fight, for instance, that you establish, but because of the sole purpose of being peaceful, That's why you are embarking on that journey. So you have to prepare yourself, like I said, and answered. You have to know or get some ideas on human psychological activities or arts, and you have to have the skills as a young person of collaborating. That's why, like the SDG goals, let's say 17, comment on teamwork. So the art of building a team, this is where we're talking about collaborative problem solving, because in most cases, you alone as a person, you won't succeed in handling issues, in most issues. Sometimes you might, but not all of the time. But if you collaborate with others, you can be able to perfectly negotiate with whosoever person and with whatsoever burning situation he or she will be facing. You can be able to find a better and suitable situation, solution to those problems. And with the help of the active listening skills that you will develop, it will effectively enable you to negotiate among all of the different crises that you will go to intervene. So as a conflict resolutionist of the many skills, you need to take into consideration these three cardinal are considered to be cardinal skills on the pathway to conflict resolution. Please, the fourth slide. So the fourth slide here, it may mention techniques for effective negotiation. Though there are too many different aspects when it comes to the effective negotiation. And of the many, I thought it was to just stick to this empathy. I saw many, but I just choose empathy, which I feel not like the other are not necessary. They are all necessary, but I think empathy, I will cover it all. Empathy, if you want to go, or if you are venturing in or arresting a situation, to some extent, one need to put himself in the shoes of those people that they are going to resolve their conflict, or they are going to resolve their different issues. For a common example, I use myself as a case study. I can be going to settle an issue or basically a conflict, and then I don't want to be boastful, or I don't want to tease. Definitely, you won't be getting it right. Instead, you're just going to be escalating the entire thing, the entire problem. So that's why you first need to put yourself in a shoe of those people that are involved. You need to act as though whatever thing that happened, it burns you as a person. And with some of those different tributes being seen, you can be able to easily arrest the situation that will occur, even if it is complex. With this act of empathizing, you can be able to arrest those situations. Yeah. And the fifth slide, it basically focus on navigating complex negotiation. How can you make your way through this? You have more than one things happenings or which had occurred. And for instance, you are the only persons on ground. So a resolutionist, one needs to build and have these skills, most especially as young people, but most of the different good and bad things that happen in and out of town today, they are all been done through the watchful eyes of young people. So we need to build the skills of multi-party negotiation. We need to build the skills of ethical consideration, cross-cultural negotiation as well. If you can multi-party negotiate, meaning you can be able to allow listen actively to more than one person speaking, or more than one person, or tough situation. How simple or easy you think will it be to find a suitable answers to the many questions that will be blowing all around? If you can be able to withstand a two persons stress, it's not so easy because, basically, people don't go where there's a conflict, no one emerge as a winner. Equally so, whatsoever place that a conflict is, definitely we will always experience a lot of destruction, a lot of personal destruction in terms of character, in terms of infrastructure, and the list goes on. So persons of such need to build the resilience to multi-party negotiating, and ethically, he or she need to be mindful of whatsoever implication that might arise. Because morally or ethically, if you are not into a good position and want to embark on such journey, there are some situations that you might encounter along the way. It might put you into a worse dilemma or into a worse situation that you are facing. You will be facing a kind of a dilemma and don't know how to or where to place the rightful answer or question, or who to be right or wrong, or basically to successfully solve a problem, I mean, it ain't going to be that easy. So that's why ethically or conflict resolutionist needs to be inclined to some extent in regards to ethical considerations. Because in this, one will experience what we call ethical dilemma to some extent. But if you possess these skills, you will carefully know where to cross a T or dot the I. And thirdly, cross-cultural negotiation. Most often we have countries sometimes going against each other. So that we have different cultural, even in the same country, different cultural having issues among themselves. So you need to know how to go about handling such issues. In as much as you put yourself, not putting your religion or putting yourself first to some extent, but instead considering whatever issues being yours and carefully handle them, putting yourself in their shoes, even dressing as one of them, will be some easy way to finding a suitable and successful outcome in achieving some of the conflict that might arise. So this is just a little no, please, 6. Cool. So this is a case study on effective negotiation. Some of you there in the Western world, you might have heard about minimal, but then these are few that I choose to share with us as case studies and how they arrive at different solutions. Like for instance, if we got the Apple and Samsung panel dispute, like in 2015, we had a Iran nuclear deal and the hostage crisis in Peru, which was in 1996. They are all a kind of a long-term things that happens, but then if we can carefully go through this field, and we will later understand how they arrive at the different solutions and things. So if one can be able to take into consideration out of those different previous bullet points, it tells you that you can be able to solve problem of the kind and even worse problem than this scenario that I'm sharing. Please, the last slide. So, in my conclusion, the power of effective negotiation, I thought it was to enter on these few top bullet points again. The ones, like I said in previous speech, this time around, it's also necessary to be innovative. It is necessary to collaborate and efficiently, not to just collaborate, I mean, shortly but efficiently, and in a much you are innovative, you have that innovation, you are collaborative, and you are efficient in doing whatsoever tasks, most especially when it comes to conflict resolution, definitely you are bound to succeed, just as you notice from the case studies between the nuclear deal, the Apple, and the Iran scenario. So on this note, I want to thank you all for listening, for reading through the different slides. I'm Tano Zebra. Thank you.
Thank you, Tan Zebra, for your really perfect, really knowledgeable, really inspiring, and give us some maybe, of course, all of us will take something what they need. Yeah, and I hope that your presentation will help all of us in our common life, in our work, in our outside life, in public life, and everything like this. Really, it was very, very thankful for this. And does somebody want to give some questions or some reflections after this presentation? We will be very happy to hear, to listen, and of course, Tanya will be answer. Yeah, everybody welcome. Just
It's well-prepared presentation, so it's really good. And there is a lot we can learn from that. And we have to. So the thing is, you mentioned that it is easier when you know the psychology of the other person or psychology of the people. Can you expand on that, or how can we find that what the other person is, or where they will come to a middle line when you are negotiating?
All right, thank you, Mom. I thought it was to add that to the slide because I think it's necessary. And our current day situation, sometimes people can be traumatized, and because of that, they will go into causing some chaotic situations. But you as a person or a resolutionist that wanting to arrest that situation, let's take for instance, in case I am mad. So if you come in to handle a mad person situation, you definitely know how the mood and what manner to approach he or she that he or she might, calm down. But you not taking into consideration that aspect of the social or the psychological aspect, probably you might just want to consider every one person that you come across to be the same. And you might not know in case he or she had a mental problem, he or she had some parental problem or domestic problem. Based on some of those reasons, you can know what method to use in approaching the people involved in that conflict. You can know what steps to take in suggesting a word or suggesting a pattern, and the list goes on. But it's necessary for us, young people, not young people, but in as much you want to raise a flag as a peace maker, we need to know who we are going to interact with, which will put us on a good side to solve whatever problem that we will encounter or might have encountered.
I have
Thank you
some
so
more
much.
questions.
Answer.
I-
Yeah,
I-
please continue. Please continue.
Yeah, I have some more questions, but Dr. Rehani, I think our other speaker is here, so can we let him talk and then we can ask questions from both of them?
Okay.
All right.
Victor is from Nigeria. He's going to. Dr. Rehani, you are muted.
Okay,
Yeah.
good afternoon again. Oh, sorry.
Yes, you can begin.
Afternoon,
Yeah, you're
afternoon from Nigeria.
You can introduce yourself and begin.
Okay, so let me share.
You want to share something? You want me to give you access?
Yes, I don't know if that's okay. Please give me access. Let me see if I can share this.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Mhm. Oh, sorry. I'm trying
Are you
to
able
get.
to?
Yes, no.
When he's trying to share Tanis, I have the document that is really useful. I'll study that carefully. And
Okay.
maybe to give permission, I can share with the group. Is it
Okay.
okay?
So
Or
I
you
can.
want to?
Yeah, you can do that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready, Victor?
Yes, I'm trying to looking for the documents. Or can I just can I do without presentation, without the slides?
Okay. Otherwise,
Just
you
to
can
do?
send it to me and I can share it
Okay,
if you want, if you are finding it difficult.
okay. Okay, so let me share it with you.
Mr. Jaya, you want to ask some question? Meeting
Yes,
is
I'm
getting.
fine.
You have sent it already? No, I haven't received.
I'm finding it difficult to locate
Okay.
it.
Okay,
So
so you
maybe
can go ahead. You can go ahead without the slides there.
okay, okay. Okay, I think I've seen it. Let me share. Share.
His presentation topic is how to rescue the younger generation from the negative forces. That's what he is going to present.
Okay, I think I just sent it to you.
He sent it to me, okay? No, I haven't received it.
It's still loading. So I'll just continue.
Okay.
I was trying to locate it from the phone so I could share the screen. Yeah. So I don't know. I think if you have it, I don't know if it's possible for you to just share it while I continue. I think it's still sent.
Okay.
So yes, just like you said, the topic, but I tried to make it a bit more youthful. So I tried
Yes.
to change it. The topic though is talking about the same thing, but yeah. So it says empowering the future, which is the youth.
Important. Okay.
Strategies to shield the young generation from adverse influences. Strategies to shield the young generation, that is the youth, from adverse influences, which is in line with the same topic that I have, how to rescue the younger generation from negative influences. And so this, for this particular presentation, I like to say that it's so apparent that in this generation we have a lot of challenges, a lot of adversities, a lot of things happening, especially looking
Can
at
you be
the
a bit
younger
louder, please?
generation and the future that holds. You know, there are a lot
Can
of
you be a bit
forces.
louder, please?
Okay, so
Can you be?
there are a lot of forces that are acting. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah. If you are more closer to the microphone.
Yes.
Good.
Okay. So I'm saying, looking at the times we are in now, the youth are faced with a lot of forces that are acting against them, especially as regards to the future. There are a lot of distractions. There are a lot of things taking the attention of the youth away from what it should be. And these challenges come in different ways, in different forms. You know, there are so many influences coming from every angle. When you talk of the media, there are a lot of morals and a lot of immoralities that are coming from the angle of the media. A lot of youth are seeing things that are influencing their orientation, their mindset, that are affecting their dreams, their goals. A lot of pressure from our peers, from friends, from a lot of people around us. A lot of people are looking at their mates and the things they do. You know, that's talking about identity. So a lot of things are actually happening with the youth. And so we have to look into this aspect. so that we could secure the future of the youth. You see, if we leave the youth to their own to the times and generations and the things happening around, definitely there will be a lot of challenges in the future. And so because of that, we have to look at, we have to start engaging, we have to start finding ways that will bring back our youth on track. You know, from my personal example, I went to school. The things I saw in my undergraduate and graduate programs, a lot of influences, a lot of peer pressure. You know, people who want you to do things that they know are not right. People who want you to go to places that they know are not right, you know, and because they're away from families, they're away from parents, they're away from people who should have influence on their activities. They feel we are free. We are free to do whatever it is that we want to do. So understanding these things will really help us in finding ways, finding solutions to this. So how do we do this? How do we help the youth to build better future? How do we empower the future? How do we empower the youth so that we shield them from adverse influences? Now, the one of the things we need to do is to promote critical thinking for the youth. We have to provide them avenues to encourage them to engage in critical thinking, to develop skills that will help them analyze information critically. This empowerment makes youth to make informed decisions and resist manipulative influences that may lead to harmful behaviors. You know, there are a lot of manipulative influences from our peers, from the media, even from our circle, from the educational aspect. There are a lot of things, a lot of information that are not balanced. And so when we consume this information as youth, we don't know what exactly is right and what is wrong. So we just go ahead, and once it forms an orientation and mindset in the minds of the youth, it's very difficult to take it away. And so we have to promote critical thinking. We have to make youth to think productively. We have to make our youth to think in the direction of developing skills. You know, once we engage the youth, they become productive. But once we leave the youth and they are idle, they begin to think, they begin to work on things, their minds begin to work on things that are not relevant for the future. So we have to avoid this manipulation. Then secondly, we have to build resilience in the youth. So resilience is essential for the young people to withstand challenges. By fostering coping strategies and emotional intelligence, we have to make our youth to be emotionally stable, to be emotionally intelligent, so that they can handle adversities with confidence and strength. When you talk of resilience, it's your ability to stand for the truth, your ability to stand regardless of challenges, regardless of distractions, ability to continue to progress despite the distractions around. So we have to help our youth to understand that this is something that is very key for every youth, for every one of us, because I'm also a youth. So for every one of us to progress in life and to live according to the purpose of God, we have to build resilience. There are a lot of distractions, a lot of things that want to take our attention away, a lot of things that want to distract us, that want to move us away from where we are going to. But we have to stand as youth, and we have to also both adults and even the youths, the older youths, every one of us, we have to work together to see that everyone around us, every youth that we have around us, we encourage them to build resilience. We have to encourage every youth to build coping strategies. A lot of situations may not be convenient. We may not be happy with it, but we have to stand. We have to cope by maintaining focus. Then we also have to create supportive environment for the youth. We have to support the youth in various youth development programs. We have to establish safe spaces at homes, at schools. We have to encourage them anywhere we find ourselves or anywhere we find the youth. We should help them to feel safe. We should create safe spaces for the youth. We should be able to encourage them. We should be able to make them feel free to discuss, to open up, to express themselves. When somebody is going through a lot of challenges and is not able to speak, it becomes very difficult for him to find help. But once the youth see that, oh, I can trust this person, I can talk to this person, this is somebody I can trust to express myself if I'm going through any challenge or if I have any crisis, emotional crisis or psychological crisis. I have people to talk to, I have somebody to talk to. We make them feel that safety to discuss, to express themselves. It becomes a very good tool for the future. So creating supportive environment is very key in this project. We have to create that support. Is it in a family, as our children, as our relatives, at schools, wherever we find youth, we try to engage them, make them feel open, make them feel safe to discuss with us, make them feel safe to express their minds, express their opinions, express their views, and that way we can know, okay, if there's any challenge, we know how to step in. Then we can also encourage by encourage them to have healthy relationships. By having healthy relationships, the youth are able to thrive. Your circle is very important. Who you keep around you is very important. People are very important to us, and a lot of people, once we are surrounded by people who are not who have negative energy or unmatched energy, people who are not going the same direction with us, it can be challenging. So I'll say that we should encourage our youth to understand what it means to have healthy relationships and to be able to have or keep healthy relationships, healthy friendships around them. Seek this can be done by providing mentorship opportunities for them, because once you mentor a child, a youth, you give him direction. So allowing them to fall into the hands of people who have negative focus or negative orientation or immoral mindset is very risky for the youth, and that is very prevalent among the youth. So we need to help the youth to have healthy relationships. We need to help the youth to have people who are relevant in their lives to their destination, to their purpose. We need to teach them to be able to identify the right values in people and to know who to keep around and who not to keep. Because definitely people influence us. The people you keep around you, they influence your mindset, they influence the things you do, they either encourage you or discourage you. You know, they either build to your success or they make you fail. So for the youth, this is also very, very, very important. The people we keep around us, the relationships we have, we should be mindful of them. And also we have the media literacy. This is very, 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 very key to whatever it is that we are doing, especially as youth. The media has a lot of influence on the minds of people, not only youth, but the youth are more vulnerable to this. So the kind of movies we watch, the kind of programs we're exposed to, the things we see on social media, the things we see on TV, the things we hear on radio, a lot of things that happen, they actually influence our mindsets. So incorporating media literacy into education helps us discern credible information from misleading content. So we're able to we're able to differentiate between the right and the wrong content to dish out. So and to also consume. So this skill is crucial in today's digital age. It's a digital age, and every youth is after the internet, after the electronic devices, the phones, the tablets, iPads, the television, and all that. So where misleading information can easily spread and influence opinions. So through such media, misleading opinions, misleading information is spread out to cause a negative mindset in our youth. So we have to also find a way of encouraging our youth to always look out for the right kind of information, the information that is morally okay for them, kind of contents that we expose ourselves to that are not contrary to the values that we are supposed to have. So we have to also promote positive role modeling. We have to help to promote positive role modeling. We have role models, just like we said already, mentorship. So we have our youth to be able to look up to people who have succeeded, who are successful in life, who have passed through the stage where they are, people who can help them navigate through life, people who have gone through these challenges, people who have gone through these stages and have and succeeded. We also have to help the youth to look up to such people as role models, especially. So we are able to help them find direction in other people, and strive for greatness. Then we also have community engagement. So we help our youth to be engaged in communities. We help our youth to be active in community-based programs so that they could have sense of belonging and purpose. So by participating in volunteering and local initiatives, young people can develop skills and connections that shield them from adverse influences. So I would like to say one thing, that anybody that will have, well, a lot of times people go through a lot of challenges, especially as youths, because it starts from being isolated. The feeling of being isolated, it starts from there and then it develops. Once anyone is there isolated, people is a kind of symptom that you see. Once somebody or a youth starts isolating himself from people, isolating himself from a community, from a family where people are, he always wants to be isolated. He doesn't want to have people around. I think it's something that we also we have to look out to, so that we help, because most of the times that is where it starts. It starts with feeling of isolation. One tends to isolate himself because he doesn't want to expose maybe his weaknesses, his challenges. He doesn't want people to know what he's going through, so that he could avoid the stigmatization. A lot of people have challenges and they don't want to share. Why? Because they don't know the reaction of people to those things. So it starts from there, and then before you know it, one goes into depression, and from there, a lot of things happen. So I think this community engagement helps a lot. There you discover your talents, you discover a lot of things, your giftings, and then you're able to connect and network with people. And these are people that will support you, especially during your time of challenge. So, in conclusion, empowering the young generation requires a multifaceted approach. So, with all these approaches that we've listed, community engagement, promoting positive role modeling, media literacy, as using the media to provide them the right content, encouraging healthy relationships, creating supportive environment for them where they feel free, they have their safe spaces where they can open up, building resilience in them, and then promoting critical thinking, helping them um, think critically and know what their lives are for, what their purpose is. So all these are multifaceted approaches, and we have to apply them wisely. So by implementing them, we can effectively shield the youth from adverse influences and promoting their well-being and future success. So I believe if we're able to do this for the youth, it will help in securing their future. It will help them to 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 progress in life. It will help them to avoid distractions from the things that are happening around, distractions from all the negative forces around, the peer pressure and a lot of things that are happening to the youth. This age that we are in, a lot of content, a lot of information on the internet. There are good ones and there are bad ones. On the television, on our phones, social media, a lot of information, good and bad. So we should be able to, as youths and even as guardians, parents, and all that, we should be able to help in finding and focusing on the right information, the right content for every one of us. Thank you very much. Thank you for the privilege to share this. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much for this.
Thank you so much for your really remarkable presentation, and you raised very interesting questions and try to give some answers for these questions and problems which we have in modern life, in our common life and our family life sometimes. And that's why thank you very much. And does somebody has questions or reflections for this presentations of Be Young, Yusuf? over.
Okay, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're
So,
welcome.
my West African brother, Paul Boyan,
Yes.
or just be anyway.
Yeah,
Uh,
BTM.
Can we use
Yes,
Yusuf? Just Yusuf, is it okay?
okay. Yeah, Yusuf. Yeah. All
Yeah,
right. So
Yusuf is better. Yeah, Yusuf is
yeah,
better. Yeah, it's
anyone
easy.
is fine.
yeah, sure.
Yes.
All right. So, again, thanks for that perfect presentation, my dear, brother. Whilst though we are Africans, we are young people, and we are all struggling to see how we can, positively contribute to our society, for which we are embarked on some of these acquired quests which we are on now. Are you also planning or recommending, if necessary, some of
Yeah.
the safe or preferred maybe platform uh, for the young people to use, and maybe some contents and different learning modules too? Because we are in, just as you said and the topic said, we are in a world right now. This era, the technology is too much different platforms for different reasons and things. So it's not so easy. But with your different search, and you as an African, though I really don't know your origin, but I'm quite sure that we are from the slum area. One way or the other, I'm quite sure we originated from the slum. So with that, are there some preferred recommendation to our honorable maybe host or platform, in case those that will feed from what we are now telling the world today, some of those save a platform to use and different necessary things? Because right now, just as you say in your presentation, I really don't want to buttress, but again, I will also have to do some because I'm a young person too. There are too many different distractions out there. Even as you take your device, your gadgets, and you even want to use some most favorable app, but before you know, there are some distractions from nowhere that will just come up on your other phone or something. And if you are not careful, or to stick to whatever thing you want to gather, you're going to be taken away from that and follow after uh, the other advertisement and others. So is there any other way that we young people or our other colleagues maybe can be able to survive their way through this? Because there are too many things you listed which I don't want to go listing them one. But then, yeah, I just want to know if there are other, after listing those different negative aspects, what are some of the positive or side? Because I'm also aware it's all balanced. They are positive, they are negative. But then, as for me, I assume that I don't know the good one to go for, and then I wake up every day and my eyes sees is just a bad content, bad platform, but to me it's good. So I don't know if you have any recommendation and like that.
Okay, so I think for now the what I know is first of all, from our educational foundation, I think these values will have to be taught, because I think the problem we have basically is about bringing a balance between morality and legality. You know, so people are moving away from morality and drifting towards legality. So when you talk to someone, when you try to make them understand that this thing is not good, they make you understand that they have their own human rights. They have the right to do whatever it is they want to do, leaving out the moral aspect of it. I think it should start from families, first of all, the family upbringing of children, of our youth, the schools we attend. They should start teaching, they should start focusing, emphasizing on morality, but unfortunately, the schools are even part of they also contribute to the problem. For example, you go to a child starts school, and once they start teaching him about the human rights, they usually do not bring a balance to it. They try to tell the child that he has right for this, he has right this, human rights for this, human right, but they don't tell them that wherever your right stops, that's where someone else's right starts. So that's just an example. If a child will tell you that this is my right, I have my right to see this and all that, probably he's trying to express himself, trying to express his emotional dissatisfaction. Meanwhile, so there should be wisdom in how to, for example, so in trying to express yourself, in trying to exercise your rights, you now hurt another person's rights too.
All right.
You
So if I
understand? So
also on,
I
yeah,
think
if I,
these things should start. Yeah,
so if I also
I'm
understand,
hearing you.
thanks
Sorry.
again. Yeah, if I also understand is also that in
Mm.
our different moral schools nowadays, moral lessons is not being
Yes.
pushed, as you said,
Yeah.
instead some legal lesson.
Yes.
And most of it all, our children
Yes.
and some of us young people, our school just teach us right, and also right, and even within a right, every right comes with a responsibility. But then that aspect
Yes. Yes.
to some extent too is also not being spoken about. So because of that, like our other young people are just going about doing what they find necessary and think is their right to do it. And I also buy the ideas that sure, most of our young people, yes, they will
Yeah.
say, yes, it's my
Yes.
right to do this, my right to do that, but then they don't even can defend that right to some extent, or they don't know the responsibilities that comes along with the right.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, then I also
So there are things like that. Yeah,
yeah. So you also spoke about critical thinking. So I was like, what is it?
Critical,
Because
critical
I
thinking.
know I know that we all think, but most especially our other young people. So I don't know if you want to or bit explain on it because for I do know,
So
every young person one or other thing for his or herself. But to what extent?
yeah, okay. So I believe you're talking about the part of critical thinking, right? So one thing I believe is we have a lot of our youths we have, I think there is laziness that is creeping into this generation. The laziness I mean is in terms of putting our minds to work, putting our minds to think. Because you see, why we feel like the youth feel like we feel we are smart, we are we are wise and all that. And the truth is, if you compare it to our parents' generations before us, we feel like these ones are outdated, these ones they don't know what is happening and all that. But really, I don't think it's because of our ability to think critically. It's just because of the kind of information that we get into ourselves. If those people the generations before us, they had the privilege of the kind of information we have. Trust me, it won't be, you can't compare. Because a lot of our parents, despite the difficult circumstances, situations, learning conditions, a lot of them, when they were in school, when they were studying, they didn't have access to the kind of information we have. They didn't have the internet, the phones that we all have in our hands, and so we just try to get information into ourselves, and then we just use it without thinking critically. Because if you receive an information and you really sit down to think of it, you are critical about it, you should know if it's right or wrong. Is it a step I should take or is not? But once we see an information, we say, okay, this is everybody is going the direction of A. We all follow because we feel this is what is trending on internet. You see that when people are singing a particular song, you don't even mind, you don't even know where it's coming from, you don't know what it means, because it's trending, we follow. So that's not
So
critical thinking. Because if you really think critically, you should know if it's something that I should follow. Does it align with my values? Does it align with my purpose? So I feel like once we're able to make youth to think critically, in terms of moral and in terms of legality, can we balance these things? It will help us. So sorry, you were trying to say something again?
Yeah, it's good. Thank you for answers. Thank you for question. And really,
Thank
you are
you very
right. Yeah, you are right. Very important views on this problem, on this aspect, because youth, they behavior, they upbringing, they learning, they studying, and everything in their relations. Now it is very, very important, and it is as a one and first point of view, not only common people, but many governments are really pay a great attention for this, because you understand youth are the first force which is leading not only the young the younger brothers and
Generation.
sisters and so on, but of course they are leading sometimes their parents, because there was a joke in Soviet, not in Soviet, in Russia, it's not the problem where it was joke that before, when the children want to do something, they approach to the elder relatives, like parents, mother, father, and grandfather and grandmother, and so on, brothers and sisters, elder brothers and sisters. But now everything and technologies change so much that now we elder ones when we want to do something in our smartphones and in internet, to want to know something to do or what to do, we approach to the small ones, because they're in this case they're more knowledgeable. I don't know why,
more knowledgeable.
but it has happened. It's really, and that's why everything can change, and that's why the ideas which you arise, which you pay attention, it really gave us some new views, some new actions maybe to do, and maybe some things to where we must if we didn't do it, but we will do it in future, and maybe just now, just to change our minds, our things, our thoughts, our actions, because really life changed. Life is thought, and it is changeable. Thank you so
it's
much.
changing speedily. Thank you very
Speedily,
much.
yes, thank you so much. Yeah, speedily with a very, very speed. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you very
Anybody
much.
else? Yeah, anybody
Jnana,
else?
Yama,
Yeah,
you want to say something?
yeah. Please welcome. Question, reflections. Yeah,
All speakers are very nice. Thank you, thank you. Very, very nice meeting. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you.
All very
Thank
happy.
you.
Next week, so you welcome. I like you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, but both of them are very young and your contribution is really appreciated and very, very informative and very useful. I wish there are some more youths in this forum, so it would have helped them.
yeah.
Thank you very much. And
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
want
Thank
to just everybody on the list on this list, everybody give some action, give a question or the opinion, and we all of us very happy for this. And I think let's my presentation. Really, I wanted that my daughter will do it, but she's was called to work, and then I think, okay, I will do it. But now, after these two very remarkable presentation, I thought if you agree with me, Miss Vasanta Perry, we will just take it off, and we will do it future again. Okay? Yeah.
okay, we like to hear you, but it's okay then. If you
Yeah.
like to, we
Yeah.
like to
Let's.
listen to you as okay. When Siva
Thank
will
you.
be back, maybe next month you can join this group on English on Saturday
Yeah.
at this time. I think
Yeah.
first Saturday of the month they have it in English. So maybe next I will tell when Siva will be back, I will let you know. Thank you for coming and rescuing us at the last minute.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless
Always
everybody.
welcome. Always
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Always
very much.
Thank
welcome.
you. So
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.